What's the real deal with Skinamarink? Walls, Legos, nightlights, neo-mumblecore, and cursed public domain cartoons. Some hate the Shudder horror release Skinamarink. Others are calling it the best horror movie of 2023. But what is it really, and should you even be watching it? Today, we take a look at one of the year's most talked about films and the true meaning and purpose behind it. Is Skinamarink a Psyop? If you like this video, make sure you fall asleep right on top of that like button and subscribe. Then share this with all of your friends. You must warn them before they watch Skinamarink. Many of us grew up hearing the nursery rhyme Skinamarink and may have even sang it ourselves as children. But did you ever stop to think about the true meaning behind the words? Recent theories suggest that Skinamarink is actually a psychological operation or psyop used to control and manipulate the minds of those who hear it. The repetitive nature of the rhyme and its catchy tune are said to be used as a form of brainwashing, conditioning individuals to accept certain ideas or beliefs without questioning them. Some believe that the origins of the rhyme can be traced back to the government or military propaganda used to control the masses and sway public opinion. Others argue that it is a tool used by the entertainment industry to influence consumer behavior and promote certain products or ideas. It is important to note that there is no solid evidence to support these claims, and the true meaning behind Skinamarink remains unknown. However, it is always important to be aware of the potential influence of media and propaganda in our lives and to question the messages we are being presented with. A psychological operation or psyop is a military or government tactic used to influence the attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors of a target audience. These operations are typically used to sway public opinion, change perceptions, or influence decision-making in a way that benefits the organization conducting the operation. Psyops can take many forms, from traditional propaganda and disinformation campaigns to more subtle forms of influence such as social media manipulation, as we saw when Skinamarink was all over TikTok. There, influencers tried to convince us this was the best horror movie we'd see this year. Psyops can be used in a variety of contexts, from warfare and counterterrorism to politics and business, and even TV ratings and movie box office consumption. Just look at Avatar. One of the key elements of a psyop is the use of information and communication to achieve a specific goal. This can include the use of media such as television, radio, and social media, as well as more direct forms of communication such as face-to-face meetings or telephone calls. Psyops are not necessarily negative or unethical. They can also be used for positive purposes such as disaster relief, public health campaigns, and peacekeeping operations. Skinamarink, which was released in theaters on a Friday the 13th, is about two children who wake up in the middle of the night to find their father missing and all the windows and doors in their home have vanished. For an hour and 47 minutes, the audience is asked to watch these events through the POV of the children, staring at blank walls, door frames, nightlights, and floors covered in Legos and other toys, wondering what awaits in the dark. This monotony is occasionally broken by the sudden jump scare of a faceless child, a blinking Fisher-Price telephone, and a 911 call so barely audible it needs subtitles. All the while, the viewer stares into the black abyss, watching either a grainy digital effect that resembles lost film footage from the 70s or watching public domain cartoons that you can find for free on YouTube. The effect is akin to floating in a sensory deprivation tank. Many may be familiar with the idea of sensory deprivation from the TV show Stranger Things. A sensory deprivation tank is a type of equipment designed to limit external stimulation and provide a peaceful and relaxing environment for individuals. It is also referred to as an isolation tank or float tank. These tanks are typically filled with water and Epsom salt, which allows the user to float effortlessly, and the water is heated to skin temperature. The tanks are designed to be completely dark, soundproof, and free from external distractions such as light, noise, and gravity. The idea behind sensory deprivation is to create a state of deep relaxation and rest, allowing the mind and body to enter a state of deep meditation. That's exactly what Skinamarink does to its audience in a dark theater, lulling them into a lucid nightmare and causing some audience members to experience hypnagogic hallucinations as they stand on the border of a true dream state. Many audience members have come out of the experience describing images and scenes that aren't even in the movie, but instead are the result of these dreamlike hallucinations. I myself saw a portrait of a family where the mother had a broken arm. That is not in the movie, just in my mind. Sensory deprivation tanks have been used for a variety of purposes, including stress reduction, pain management, and personal growth. They have been used by athletes, artists, and other professionals to improve focus, creativity, and performance. 11 even used a deprivation tank to help find the Demogorgon in Hawkins. They can be used as a form of therapy to help individuals with conditions such as anxiety, depression, and PTSD. Additionally, many people use sensory deprivation tanks as a form of self-care to reduce stress and tension and improve overall well-being. Let's face the facts. Skinamarink is a giant sensory deprivation tank in the form of cinema. So, where did this horror movie come from? Who is director Kyle Edward Ball? Ball got his start making YouTube shorts based on other people's nightmares. Skinamarink is based on a 30-minute proof-of-concept short he made called Heck, and it follows a similar narrative to the finished movie. Why does Kyle Edward Ball call his film Skinamarink? He says this about the title. It's personal, sentimental, and it feels personal to other people. It's childlike and makes no sense. It felt like it fit the feeling of the movie. Originally, it was supposed to be just a working title, but it stuck. Skinamarink premiered at the 2022 Fantasia International Film Festival in Montreal. It became a viral sensation as word spread. But after hearing all the praise and watching the film, many have been left to wonder, is this a massive troll on the audience? What is the takeaway? What do we get from staring into the darkness for almost 2 hours with nothing much to show for it at the end? This has led to many theories on the internet. One big question left lingering, whether or not Skinamarink is a psyop. If so, what is its true intention? Or is it simply an innocent account of the dread felt during childhood and a callback to a shared nightmare? Some in the genre community are labeling this liminal horror. What does that even mean? Liminal horror is a subgenre of horror that explores the psychological and emotional experiences of being in between states or liminal spaces. These spaces are often characterized by their ambiguity and uncertainty, and they can include physical locations such as abandoned buildings or isolated areas, as well as psychological or emotional states such as grief, anxiety, or confusion. Skinamarink checks all of these boxes. Liminal horror often explores themes of identity, loss, and the unknown. It often leaves the audience in a state of uncertainty, not knowing what is real or not. It also plays with the idea of the unknown and how that can be terrifying in itself. Liminal horror often employs techniques such as ambiguity, symbolism, and surrealism to create a sense of unease and disorientation in the audience. It also tends to blur the lines between reality and fantasy, creating a sense of confusion and uncertainty. Examples of liminal horror films include Mulholland Drive by David Lynch, The Witch by Robert Eggers, and Under the Skin by Jonathan Glazer. Liminal horror can also be found in literature, games, and other forms of media. It is important to note that liminal horror is not for everyone, as it can be challenging and an unsettling experience. However, for those who are drawn to it, it can be a powerful and rewarding way to explore the darker aspects of the human experience. So, should you succumb to the terror found within Skinamarink? Is this some kind of psychological warfare? Or is it just a horror movie? You'll have to watch Skinamarink for yourself and decide. But beware. This could be more than just an experience in a movie theater. It could have long-lasting psychological effects, and you may not want to go to sleep many nights after seeing it. This could be more than just a movie. If you enjoy this video, be sure to zap that like button with your telepathic powers, subscribe, and share it with all your weird friends. Until the next time, we'll be lost in the darkness searching for windows and doors and toilets, hoping to find our way out of this liminal nightmare.